First of all, I would like to thank God's mercy and all the transmitting masters' compassion that I have the chance to share this class with you. And of course, for Lecture E's invitation, I really greatly appreciate the opportunity. Today, the class that I would like to share with everyone is our Holy Qigong teachers' wisdoms, and it's the and this time I would like to talk about the Dao and Heart Cultivation. Okay. And this first slide, it's talking about a devoted cultivator should understand that hardship is part of life. The more you do, the more you fulfill your vows. Therefore, people who cultivate Dao and who propagate Dao should have no complaints or regrets. What does it mean, for Dao cultivators? This simply means that we all come to this world with some sort of responsibilities that we need to fulfill, depending on what our roles are in different parts of our at different times in our life. And it is important that we fulfill our responsibilities. For example, responsibilities of students and responsibilities of to your workplace, responsibilities of being a spouse, children, to your parents, family. All these are responsibilities that we need to fulfill in our life. And when we do these things, the more complaint we have, the worse the life is going to be. So why don't we just have a positive mind and continue on just to do what we should be doing at every step of the way, every moment in our life. And the more we do, the more we achieve. And there's also a saying in Chinese. I don't know if you guys have tried sugarcane. In Taiwan, it's actually a very popular fruit in southern Taiwan, and the sugar is actually extracted from sugarcane, and the sugar from sugarcane is actually it tastes it has a very distinct taste, and the sugar just simply tastes better. And with the sugarcane, there's a saying that one side is sweeter than the other side, right? And the older people in my grandparents' generation, they always advise us to eat the sugarcane from the side that's not so sweet, so the sugarcane gets sweeter and sweeter and sweeter. And that's what we're hoping that our life will be. We work hard when we're young, we work towards our goal, and hopefully by the time that we get old, our life becomes better and better. And that's what we want for Dao cultivators. Okay, all the complaints and regrets that we have in our life won't make us a happy person. So let's just understand that no matter what life gives us, we will overcome and conquer all the hardships. Okay, this slide right here is saying that to cultivate Tao, we need to seize the opportunity. And what does that mean? That means the opportunity is here, we grasp it, and we don't let it go easily. If we miss the moment, we will not have a second chance, and that is true for a lot of things. And when the opportunity comes, grabs it quickly and accurately, and don't miss the opportunity, don't miss the chance, because you never know when the next opportunity will come. And this is Tao, because at that moment you are single-minded, and at that moment you are very focused, and you are very you understand exactly what you need. And same thing with Tao. We are very, very fortunate and lucky that the Tao is a lot easier to receive nowadays, just due to the timing. And since I would hope most of you have received Tao already, and that's not waste this opportunity to cultivate in this life, because Who knows what's going to happen in your next life? And who knows if the Tao is going to be so easy to receive anymore? Okay, so it is very important that we treasure this moment, treasure what we have. Okay, and this one is our sincere heart. What does sincere heart mean? That's a pure, without any distraction. Okay, and the sincere heart and your own understanding of Tao are the most important aspects of cultivation. And what is that? That means we have to feel the Tao ourselves, feel the life surrounding us ourselves, rather than listening to other people. Feel it with our heart. And that's very, very important. Wisdom is gained through experiencing your real life and trying to improve yourself. For instance, when encountering a problem, how to solve it properly requires wisdom. Right? We always want to have the best balance. We don't want to be too extreme, because when we're too extreme, we're tipping off the other side. So how to find the best balance in life requires wisdom, and always be patient, always be calm. So put what we have learned into practice, and then we can make a difference in your life. And what does that mean? We have to always prepare ourselves for what comes in our life, right? And we always have to deal with patience, with calmness, and that wisdom will flow naturally. And the more sincere we are in our hearts, the closer we'll be connected with the Holy Teacher. So it is important that when we do things, we stay focused. Okay? And there is a video that I would like to share with everyone, and I'm hoping that you'll understand what I'm saying, and I'm hoping that you'll grasp the message of this video.
Ryan, the top scorer captain, looks very determined to win and get his team into the finals for the third year in a row.
Well, Mike, the challenging team captain, has not lost a single match this season. Can he stop Ryan?
Oh, this is a basketball game.
Coach, we can't let Sean play in the next game. We need the best players to win.
Captain, I didn't set out to teach this team to be winners. I taught this team to be better people. Remember when you first started?
I was the worst on the team. But you gave me a chance.
Because you keep trying. Ask yourself, Captain, how do we rise as a team?
You guys go first. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. 3 years. I've never seen you score. Why keep trying? Why don't you just give up?
Hope? Everyone should have hope, right? I hope that I will get the same chance. I hope that the next one will get in.
Let's try together. And then reflect it using a list. Good job. We do it together.
Well done, well done. Keep on doing. Great call. Keep on.
Coach, carry Brisha into the game. How do you rise as a team? We rise by raising each other.
But coach, Sean doesn't have a jersey.
He does. Sean. Wear your jersey inside out.
Come on, Sean. 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 Come on, Sean.
Wow, teamwork at its most inspiring moment.
I've never seen anything like this before. Come on, Sean.
Ryan, stop doing it. You're passing up your chances of winning.
I'm just passing on something.
The game is now even with 6 seconds left. Whoever scores the next shot will win.
Ryan's gonna score for sure. He's clear to the basket. This one's for the championship and Sean is blocked. He has no clear shot. He's going to need a miracle. Foul? Captain Mike just fouled. What was he thinking? This is unbelievable.
I believe the opposing team has just given him a miracle.
It looks like both teams are no longer playing to win. They are now playing for humanity. Sean gets 2 penalty shots. He only needs to score 1 to win the game for his team.
Don't give up hope. It's gonna be the next one. As a team, we rise by raising each other.
Okay, so after the video, this is definitely very inspirational, because this is not just purely a game of winning it, who wins the game or not. It's a video of showing how both teams come together and to look for something that's outside of just winning, right? And just imagine the kid like Sean. He'll never have a chance to rise and to shine. However, both teams' captains sees that there's something more important than winning the game, and both of them were able to provide Sean with the opportunity to to be successful, at least, and at least believing in him to give a try. And that's why we see how the game, how it ended. And at the very end, we can see that they all cheer on for the three of them, both team captains and also Sean, right? So this is what we as our cultivators should always keep it in our mind. It's not just about winning, and it's not just about us, it's about other people too. When we start thinking of other people, I'm sure other people will think of us as well. So that's why we have to, learn, we have to put what we learned into practice, and then we can make a difference in not just our life, and we can make a difference in other people's life. And to dog cultivators, that's something that is priceless. Not easy to do, but it's priceless. Okay, the next one is talking about the holy teacher is saying that he expects all his disciples to do this. And what is that? And that's when we encounter imperfection, and that's the deviation from Dao. We all do our best to make it complete and perfect, right? And start from achieving small completion and in big perfections. Start from little things and strive for perfection with this principle. We praise others' merits but humble our own, right? We put ours and admit our own faults instead of criticizing others, and do not slander or criticize when we see only a small part of the whole picture, and that will lead to trouble and make things worse, right? What we a lot of oftentimes we don't see how we behave, but people around us, they see it all the time. And for example, it's very easy to just point fingers, but we have to realize that when we point fingers, one finger is pointing at the person before four fingers are pointed at us. And what does that mean? So next time, before you point fingers, let's just reflect and think, is this what we want to do? And is this, does it really make sense? And am I hurting someone by pointing fingers? Right. And what we were talking about from the first slide is that we often like to complain and criticize other people, right? And always think of the negatives. Why don't we just change our mindset? And then we start putting other people in the spotlight instead of just always ourselves, right? And we can take a step back and just go behind the scene too. And if someone is good, no matter how the person is trying to hide, people will realize it's good. But if someone is not, someone is always wants to be in the spotlight, eventually people will realize that, even you in the spotlight, that doesn't mean people will respect you, right? And there's a saying that we have, and that's just the good deeds will just last us longer. Okay. So we have to really control ourselves, not to slander or criticize others. And everybody deserves a chance to correct themselves, and everyone should be responsible to make things better and not worse. Okay, and so we as dog cultivators, we should encourage other people, and we should just let go of little things, and really help each other to achieve the better world instead of dragging everyone down. So I think the video that we just saw can tell us that life is not about winning the game. It's really about raising each other, right? Praise each other and rise to the top together, and that is more meaningful. Okay. So the Almighty God allows the propagation of Tao not for people to learn strange things or mystifying things, but to tell directly that you are Buddha. And we've known that we all know that our beloved never resting Buddha, right? Before she became the Buddha, what was she? She was a human, just like all of us, and she received Tao. And because she spent her entire life propagating Tao and learning Tao, and that's why she was able to achieve Bodhisattva, Buddhahood, right? And it's something that we, as Tao cultivators, should learn. There is no quick way to get to our destination. There's a straightforward way. The quick way may not always be the best way, right? And definitely, we don't want to take a lot of detours. So the best way is to really just learn from the Buddha's footsteps and just follow our Qigong holy teacher. Self nature is in ourselves, and that's our Buddha nature, our true nature. It's something that is very magical because it's invisible. You just know where it is, but you cannot feel it, you cannot see it, and it's very hard to describe it, right? And that is Tao. So Qigong Holy Teacher is telling us to all his disciples, and that's us. We have to do our own thorough research, and we have to find out that the past sages, saints, and founders of the world's greatest religions all reach perfection, all by fulfilling their daily responsibilities. And that's what we were talking about in the first slide. We're all in this world with some sort of responsibilities at different times in our life. And we need to be able to, put our feet in the solid ground and just fulfill all these responsibilities. And that's not live in the dream. Living in a dream of cultivation is not going to get us anywhere, and it's really just a waste of time. And it's the same thing as always living in a dream in our life, right? What do we achieve at the end? Nothing. And it's really just a big waste of time. So we have to keep that in mind. Okay, and what does it mean to live in a dream of cultivation? What we were talking about before. If we talk a lot and do nothing much, empty talk, let's living in a dream, right? We can all talk, everybody can talk, but that's just a waste of time. We have to put our words into action, and only the action will identify what the end results will be. So the cultivation is to fulfill one's duties faithfully without complaint. Again, it's talking about, do not complain, right? Complaint would only just bring in a lot more negative thoughts to us. And do not compare ourselves with others, right? Everyone's got their own life to fulfill, and everyone's painting a different picture of their own life. Just do what we can do, do the best we could. And Tao is fair, heaven's fair. Our holy Qigong teacher is not going to treat us with less than what we deserve. If anything, as long as we have the sincere heart and our dedication and commitment, our holy Qigong holy teacher will actually give us more. When that judgment day comes, right, and we will get what we deserve. So unless we stand solid ground and really devote ourselves, we will not get any affirmation. So just remember, the dedication, commitment, all the way through. That's what we want for Tao cultivators. Okay, and then there's another one that I would like to share it with everyone. And this video is about resilience, and it's actually very powerful.
Who does it look like?
It looks like me.
That's right. I want you to do everything that you can to knock your toy down. Who is the strongest in class? Jerron, come on up, please. I'm going to give Jerron a prop, and he's going to try to knock it off the table. Ready, Jerron? Okay, children, who can tell me what it means to have resilience? Yes, Paige?
Resilience means if you make the toy fall down, it'll come back up very, very fast.
Very nice.
Okay, how interesting was that video, right? So resilience, what does it mean? The ability to bounce back from difficult or tough situations, just like that toy. No matter what we do, in different angle, different surface, does it bounce back perfectly? Yes, it does. May take maybe wobbly or not straight in the beginning, but eventually comes back to a place. So that's why it is very important for Dao cultivators, right? How we are able to cope with hardship, recover from adversity, and keep going even when things are tough. And it's about adapting to challenges rather than being knocked off for good. So let's just keep that in mind. It's good for the Dao cultivators to learn, and it's a good practice to apply to a lot of things in our life. And that's why I thought this video was very interesting, that they started teaching what resilience is to young kids, very, very young kids. When they're young and they get training, they understand, and they will grow up to overcome obstacles in their life, whether it's doing their academic studying or doing their lifetime working or dealing with family. And that's just so important. So as Dao cultivators nowadays, let's keep that in mind, and that's really, really, understand what we're trying to achieve in our life and what can help us. And resilience is definitely one thing that could help us. Okay, and if you recall, the title of this section is the Dao and Heart Cultivation, right? So emotions, right? We all have emotions, and that's why how do we make our heart remain constant, right? How do we keep our promises? How do we keep what we want to achieve, right? So if we want to keep our faith, we have to carry it out and practice it constantly, right? Just like if you want to get good grades, you work hard. If you want to be a good musician, you practice, and just never stop practicing, and eventually one day you'll become successful. So over here it says, through constant practice, you may encounter frustration, failures, or maybe sense of success. However, if you get back on your feet after falling down, your faith will become stronger and firmer than before. In this way, you can maintain constancy and persistency of your Buddha heart. And we know that we all have that true nature, that Buddha nature. And do we really understand what it is, and what our holy Qigong holy teacher have been telling us? So we should know that knowing should always be consistent with doing, and knowing without doing is vain, and knowing without and doing without planning is too reckless. So when we have a belief or a kind thought, how do we fulfill it, right? And it can't be accomplished in 2 or 3 days. It takes takes a long time. It always does, and we really need to have that patience, and it really takes constant non-stop practice throughout your life to achieve success in cultivation. And it's not just cultivation in our life, it's a lot of things in our life that we were talking about. If you want to get better, just practice, right? There's just no miracle, and not until the judgment day, until the very last day, can one's achievement be evaluated. So just remember, we are in this long journey together, and don't feel that you are alone, because so many other people are together with you. So let's not give up, and if we give up and other people continue if other people continue to advance, we'll be falling behind, and that's not what we want. So that's keep that in mind. Okay. And it's that continue our practice. Now it's going to make our life successful. Okay, right? Okay, the next one. Neither the earth or the underworld is your home. You come to the earthly world with a mission. Do not improperly belittle or underestimate yourself. It is your responsibility to propagate Dao on behalf of heaven. It's very important, right? Why is that? Why is that? Because we were born by heaven and nurtured by earth. The grace of heaven and earth and the grace of your parents are the greatest among all the favors you have received in your life. We have to be. What does that mean? That means we need to be grateful, and we need to understand that who it's because what we call earth and heaven and our parents to provide what we need, so that we become the way who we are today, and we must not forget what they've done to us, right? And that's why we always need to be grateful at any moment in our life. Just be very grateful. And just remember, we belong to, because since we all have the Buddha nature, right, the true nature, so we actually belong to heaven, and we're here on this earth temporarily, and we have a mission, and we have to fulfill our responsibility in this life, in order to be able to go back to heaven. And what is Tao? What is the cultivation? The cultivation is to correct evil thoughts, right? To remediate the evil thoughts and recover the inherent conscious and the intrinsic ethics already in you, right? This Tao is already in us. We need to find it again. In other words, the same thing as before we received Tao, we didn't know that we have the true nature is in ourselves, and now that we do, we have to cultivate our true nature and really show the Tao. We all know what filial piety is, and we all know that we love our siblings, we love our parents, and if we know to repay grace and favors and to fulfill vows, loving and honoring parents should be done naturally without any expectations, and that is what we call the filial piety. And if you excuse me, if you have joined our Dao meeting, you would know that the second day of the class, there's one just by our never-resting Bodhisattva on just the filial piety. And why we put that in the 2-day Dao seminar? Because that's a very important lesson. And we as human, if we cannot respect our own parents, then there's nothing else to talk about. Respecting our parents is the basic, the first step, the fundamentals of human. And that's why in our Dao field, we always emphasize on the importance of filial piety. And our Bai Shui Sendi has been propagating the idea of filial piety for years and years. And he firmly believes that it's the filial piety that's going to lead the world to utopia. Okay. Next slide is talking about everyone's duty is to be responsible to oneself. Everything you do has an effect on all the sentient beings, yourself and everyone around you. Today, you're here in the temple to learn Dao. But where is Dao? Dao is in our daily life. Dao is within ourselves. And we should act in accordance with Dao and set the example of Dao and devote practicing it ourselves. And then we'll see how worthwhile it is to cultivate Dao. We are very fortunate to be able to receive Dao this life at some point in your life, and we have to become role models for others. And we're here to learn Dao. And where is Dao, right? It's in our daily life, right? How you are able to fulfill your responsibilities, how you do it well, and it's really just within ourselves, and it depends on how we want to deal with all these. And again, if we are the role models, and I'm sure our family or even the community will become a much better place. Okay, and the next one is, as we come to know ourselves better, we'll show that inner sincerity in our expressions and behaviors, and that's to show in our actions, daily actions. People will see you as Buddha, right? And the world around you will become a better place because of us. So the real paradise is really in our heart, and it really depends on how we want to show it, how we want to bring it out. And if we can all come together and be positive and give just very simple smiles to people around us, and just do positive things and be kind and be truthful to each other, I really think that we can achieve world of utopia very soon. And it's not hard at all. In the beginning, we maybe need to take practice, but the more and more we do, the more we get used to it, and it becomes very natural just to be a very kind person. Okay, and we're saying that put what we think, what we know into action, and that's the best example of what Dao cultivator should be. Okay, being a human, you need to fulfill your basic duties, right? And we've been talking about this all along too. We should be practical and try not to reach for what's beyond our control. We don't need to go to other places to study meditation, right? All we need to do is to cultivate ourselves in the most natural way, which is out of our merciful heart, and you can achieve Buddhahood eventually. The remarkable glory of Wise Sun era, that's the era we're in right now, is we can accomplish the most extraordinary thing in the most ordinary way, right? We humans, right? We live in a very special time, and we are doing something very special in our own way, and we don't need to being a dog cultivator, we don't need anything fancy We don't need anything extravagant. We don't need anything luxurious. We just have to live our normal life, and we fulfill our duties every day, and be a kind person until the very last day. Um, and that's very important. It may seem very simple, but to do that for the rest of our life, or to carry on for years and years and years, we don't even know when that last day is. May not be so easy, but I am fully faithful that we can do it, and that, as adult cultivators, we can definitely do it, and we'll do it right, and we can do it well. Okay, a cultivator needs not only to cultivate well, but also to express Tao effectively. To be a cultivator, our words, our heart, and our deeds have to be consistent. Right? Otherwise, we're being perceived as very fake, and we don't want that. We don't want people to say that we're fake, right? So the most important thing in cultivation is to realize the truth and how we should express Tao in our daily life, and express true Tao, okay, not the fake one, the true Tao in our daily life, and we continue to influence people around us in our life. Okay. Every bottleneck is an ideal time for growth, right? Any obstacles that we face, do we give up or not? No, we never give up, right? Our never-resting Bodhisattva has say something that's just so powerful, and influenced so many other people. And she said that there's no obstacle in her life that she cannot overcome, and that's something that we should learn. And it's just like the video that we were showing you for resilience, right? How we get up and we continue the path, and we don't stop from what we're doing. If we can have that mentality towards Tao cultivation, it's gonna be so amazing. Okay, and then Tao, do not just pay attention to your surfaces every day. To cultivate, you need to go deeper. What does deeper mean? That means we're not doing just the surface, right? We go more in depth, and just like us, right? We don't want to be a superficial person, because if we do that, other people will treat us that way, and that's not what we want. So that's why we need to be genuine, be kind, and be nice. This way we can attract the similar people around our life too. When we cultivate Tao, right, do not just pay attention to what's beautiful, delicious, and comfortable. Endure hardship and suffering, and then we'll be the best of the best. What does that mean, right? Everybody wants to be comfortable. Everybody wants to go on vacation. But what do we get out of it, right? Hopefully, we all have a smooth sail in our life. But I think that is not very common. We all have some sort of responsibilities or hardships that we have to overcome in our life, and everyone's experience is very different, and it's very important that the sugarcane example that I was talking to you about, right, we prefer to have more hardship, to deal with more difficulties, obstacles in the beginning of our life, and eventually it gets just better and better and better. And for Tao cultivators, right, if we can follow that model, there is just so much that we can do, that so many people that needs our help, and then eventually I am very confident that we'll all achieve Buddhahood. Okay, be selfless when we practice Tao. Be contented to play our role, right? Doesn't matter which role we're in. It could be several roles a day. Just do our best in that role, and that's do it without complaints, without regrets, without a starting point or a finish line. just be natural and just carry it out steadily. Start again after resting, right? You get up in the morning, you continue to do it, and the next day and the next day, day after day, and years after years. And be sure that we really make an effort to help this world become a more harmonious and peaceful place. And hope that in this time of great urgency and chaos, and I would assume that you agree that we live in a very, very different times now. We see more and more natural or man-made disasters, and we see more and more people with social emotional difficulties, and this all of us can settle down our heart and truly come down our mind and be sincere, and that is very important. We don't just go up and down. Our emotions won't be going up and down. Won't let other people influence too much, and we have to always stay calm and sincere. Be sincere to yourself, to people, and to all objects and to duties. Face your own heart and be sincere inside, and reflect your sincerity on your behaviors and expressions. And that's how people with it will truly respect you, and that's how you will attract people of similar kind. This way you won't be alone in your Dao cultivation. And that is just something that our Qigong holy teacher really wanted his disciples to do. Be truthful to ourselves. Don't lie to yourself. If nothing's gonna get done, it doesn't benefit anyone. Okay, and this one, whatever you do, do not wait until tomorrow. Do it today, do it this moment, and do it now, and you'll find what's true and internal. Okay? Nobody knows what tomorrow will bring, and nobody knows what's gonna happen. So just this moment, seize the moment, and so this way you don't have any regrets. Take cultivation as something you should do. Then you'll do it willingly and cheerfully, just like enjoying your meals or your favorite dishes. Then you will want to experience the joy every day. That's why one different thought makes a world of difference. And that's why we say that we should always have positive thoughts, because once the negative thoughts comes in, more and more will just pour in, right? And we all want to be happy people. Why do we let the negative thoughts affect us? So, and it's really just our mentality. We can change our mentality. And you just always have to think positive. Cultivation of Tao is to do the most appropriate thing at the most appropriate time, because we would not be doing something when there's nothing to do. So it's always like when something comes up, you face it, you deal with it. If you've done things well on earth, then you have taken good care of holy affairs in the heaven. There's a saying in Chinese that when the butcher puts the knife down, at that moment becomes Buddha already. So what does that mean? What we do now, what we're trying to achieve now, and do it well, and do it appropriately, and do it good. This is something as a Buddhahood. This is something as we're doing the holy affairs in heaven. That's why that is Tao. Do the most appropriate things at the most appropriate time. We don't go around trying to twist the truth, and we don't try to turn things around in a bad way, and we do the right thing. Always do the right thing. Always be positive. Always try our best effort to make things better, instead of pulling someone else's leg. And that's what a true Dao cultivators do. Okay, there's no end in Dao cultivation, right? Even after you achieve Buddhahood, look at our never resting Bodhisattva. She's in heaven already, but does she stop? No, she doesn't stop. In fact, she's working harder and harder each day because there's just more and more, and she's getting really, really nervous because of so much things waiting for her to do. Resting is the repose of your weary mind, not repose of your footstep, of slowing down. So be lively in your stride and tranquil in your heart, and not bothered by fame or wealth. Remember that fame and wealth, that's just something external. It's something that you will not be able to bring with you when the judgment day comes. So in propagating Tao, unite everyone's will to form a stronghold and work for a common goal. Do not pursue fame or individual glory. When you meant just like what we saw in the basketball video, right? It's a team, and if we can just rise everyone up, doesn't that make us feel proud? So when we manage holy affairs, do them naturally, and we should not expect any rewards or the disturbed in mind. Always follow your true nature, and heaven will certainly support you in unlimited power. If we're demanding for rewards and trouble, you're not doing it naturally, right? Just like volunteer. What does volunteer mean? Volunteer is you give your time, you don't get anything in return. You don't expect anything in return, especially in terms of money. So if we're demanding for rewards and trouble, we're not doing it naturally, and that's not Tao. And eventually we'll feel powerless to achieve our goal. So pass on the torch, carry on the torch of this wisdom. Let the light of this millennial beacon shine on, and guiding all the sentient beings to go on forever and ever. And that is a huge mission for Dao cultivators like us to pursue. Right? We want this to pass on and on to our next generations, to our next and next generations, and hopefully it doesn't stop, so that will benefit more and more humans. Cultivation is not to be done in temples only, or in front of people only. It needs to be done especially when you are by yourself, when you're alone, and when you are facing each and everything, and that's important. So let's just take a moment to reflect on yourself. Oftentimes we do things, do we do it when there's people around or not? If you do things with or without people around, and it's a good thing, then I want to really, really applaud you for doing the right thing. Okay, it's not just, we don't just cultivate in temple or in front of people, right? Or in front of your boss. We have to do it at any time, every time, as if there are always people next to you. We have to choose a path that's suitable for us. Everyone has his complete innate potential. Since it's already in you, you don't need to search it externally. Avoid falling into the chaos. We need to realize that there's no chaos in our nature, so we don't have to jump off of any, and this will make our cultivation path very clear and very direct and very precise. If you are fond of Tao, you should be honest, kind, and magnanimous. Such a person should always go to help out in the kitchen to cultivate Tao at the same time. Learn Tao from doing chores. Do not always sit in a comfortable environment, and learn cozy and easy Tao. Cozy and easy Tao, it's not gonna get you much longer. Just like if you're exercising to lose weight, right? You really have to be determined and set a schedule to do it, instead of just saying it and meanwhile not really exercising. That's not going to achieve any results at all. Right? So again, going back to what we were talking about before, if you want good results, you have to work hard. Okay, Cultivate doubt in every moment. Do it constantly. Any pause or stop is a waste of time. Be responsible for your own life. Show your compassion. Actually, out of you are holy teachers incarnations. You are all little Jigong, so don't be selfish. And then just remember, it's 24/7, and there's no ending to it, and there's no pause in the middle. You can take a short rest, but you have to get back on again and continue to work towards the goal. Okay, and now we have we all remember, right? Holy Jigong, Jigong Holy Teacher is always next to us to support us, even though we cannot see, but he's always next to us, and we have to let's make him proud. Okay. As the new year comes, which what we practice in our virtual speaking, and we always say good things, good words, and lucky, and Lunar New Year season. So the moment you say good words, good deeds, it is heaven. So just treat every day, as if it's the Lunar New Year, right? We say positive things, good things, and we just have to remember, it's at all times, not just during Lunar New Year time. And I'm sure those of you who have experienced Lunar New Year loves the time, because it's about a family gathering, about enjoying good food, about just catching up with family, and then everyone is saying something good, and everyone is everyone's kind to each other, and then we can turn that into our normal daily life, then that is what we call achieving heaven. Okay, and the next slide was talking in our everyday life. Who is your teacher? You can see Holy Teacher, and you don't really know where Holy Teacher is. So who do you learn it from? Let your conscience be your teacher. Conduct yourself, work, and speak with conscience. Then you will make less mistakes. Which means just let your Buddha nature, your true nature guide you, right? And always reflect, always think before you talk, always think before you act, to evaluate if that's the right thing. If you can let your Buddha nature guide you, that means you keep what Jigong Holy Teacher has been teaching you and teaching us, and he'll be very proud. Okay. So it's not like we don't see Jigong Holy Teacher, that means he's not around to teach us. We just have to calm ourselves down and then just reflect our Buddha nature, and all what he's been saying will slowly pop up and will guide us in our daily life. Cultivation should be done here and now. You should cultivate each moment in every place, in your life, every day, 24/7. Okay. Usually people grow in adversity. Suffering and experiences make them stronger. Heaven gives assignments to you according to your ability, so don't underestimate yourself. The more willingness you are to take on the big task, the more you'll gain from the experience, and the more you'll gain after finishing that. Okay. Okay. Do not have a selfish heart. Take a broad view. What a vast and broad side it is. Don't let a narrow, constricted mind limit yourself. Listen, deliberate, and perform more. Okay. And that's really just, teaching us to have a broader horizon. We do it, but we limit what we say, because a lot of times what we say, depending on our emotions, make things worse. So we don't want to do that. Okay, and then being the disciples of Jigong Holy Teacher, we think of others, not just ourselves. We put ourselves always in the last place. We give our time to all human, to people around us, and at the end of the day, we'll be surprised. We're actually gaining more in that case. Okay. Okay, repay good for evil. Don't let the grape you receive in vain. Don't let the grace you receive be in vain. The more you receive, the more you should fulfill your vows. Let go of your troublesome problems as your heart is tranquil. Everything's calm after everything settles down in calmness. Will there be any worry? It is important that we be kind and to take a step further. We are kind even though other people don't treat us the way we should treating us the wrong way. So that's why we want to let go of the trouble, and then to have a calm heart. And when everything's calm, then nothing will bother us. Merits are earned with others' recognition. Don't seek for undeserved reputations. Keep your vows well. Do more and talk less. It's talking about do more and talk less in several of those slides. Okay, so we really have to continue to be kind, still be kind even there's no one around, and do the right thing when there's no one around. Okay, and then everyone's got different capacities, right? Everyone's capability is different, and just do what we are capable of doing. Do not overestimate ourselves, because that's not healthy for us either. And we'll just make sure that we're healthy, and because without a healthy body or without a healthy mind, it's going to be very hard to proceed in this path of Dao cultivation. Okay, my slides are actually very long. I'm just only going to speak half of my PowerPoint, and the other half I'll share next time with everyone. And so this actually, I think we're about half time, and I really want to appreciate everyone's providing this chance, and also Lecture 84 providing me with this chance to share the class with everyone. And I wish everyone a very fulfilled weekend, a very happy weekend, and continue on this happy road of cultivation. And I hope to see all, or maybe just some of you in the temple in a very near future. Okay, thanks everyone.